So a few months ago, I was asked to produce the most bizarre and random commercial you could possibly imagine. A horror commercial about search engine optimization.
What? What are you talking about?
You see, in the midst of my increasingly busy life as a family man, developing feature-length scripts, producing short films, and creating videos for you all here, I also work a full-time job as a video producer for a search marketing agency called Bruce Clay Incorporated, which specializes in SEO, search engine optimization. To put it simply, SEO is when you search for anything on Google, and the sites that show up first are the ones with the best SEO. Hence, they're optimized for search. How your site becomes better optimized for search is where a company like Bruce Clay Incorporated comes in to help. So yeah, check us out if you want more traffic to your site.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Anyway, after seeing my short horror films online, Bruce was adamant that this horror approach would be much better than your typical bland corporate commercial that just talks about
innovation, money.
Boring. But right after he pitched me on this, I stood up and shouted in his face, "No, I will not stoop to this corporate video nonsense. I am an artist and I only make movies." But in reality, I was just like, maybe we should reconsider. Maybe we should just play it safe this time around, because I've never really done a professional commercial before. This is new territory for me, and commercials, although annoying most of the time, are an art form in and of themselves. But upon hearing all of my concerns, Bruce simply turned to me and said, "If you don't make this horror commercial, you are fired. You are fired. You're fired!" Nah, honestly, I can't emphasize enough how supportive Bruce was in the process, and all he did was just ask me to come up with something fun we could promote, preferably horror, but whatever I thought would work. It seemed like a fun challenge, and I did like the idea of working on something I'd never done before.
That sounds like a challenge to me.
Yeah, okay.
But if horror was the direction we were going in, I knew immediately it would have to be a humorous commercial, something we could definitely play off as silly because horror and SEO are about as similar as peanut butter and a can of Raid. So after pounding my head violently for days to come up with an idea, I actually came back with two concepts we could choose from. Either we do a horror concept involving a haunted house of some sort and how scary it is to not rank on Google or something like that, or we do a heist theme involving incompetent hackers trying to do SEO, but they just can't hack it. Get it? Oh my gosh, I'm so funny. The latter option seemed like a better fit to me because, you know, like computers and stuff. But upon hearing both ideas, Bruce's response was simply, "Why can't we do both?"
You serious?
Should have seen that one coming. Now I was tasked with making two commercials about SEO.
It's my own fault. I screwed it up.
Regardless of the challenges, it's not like either of these projects weren't going to be fun, so I was down for stepping into unknown territory, if you will. However, the company then asked if we could at least have the horror commercial by October to coincide with the Halloween season, which was only 4 weeks away. I don't want to give the false impression that Bruce or the company were pressuring me into this deadline, but it was obvious this had to be the due date because who wants to release a horror ad during Thanksgiving or Christmas? So with no script, no cast or crew, no shooting dates, and no production timeline yet in place, we had to move fast. I first reached out to my friends Josh Nitschke and Eric Reese to help me with the project, and after intense negotiations and a lot of begging, I got them to agree to help me out. We also managed to lock down much of the same crew we used for my short horror film Don't Hide, so it was like a little reunion of sorts. We coordinated both commercials to be shot back-to-back over 2 days in Los Angeles. I then went to work on the scripts and got them approved by the company. We sent out a casting call, and holy moly, there was a lot of submissions just for a commercial. It's also so depressing how many people you have to pass over who are desperately trying to make it. But what can you do? Anyway, first up was the horror commercial. We found a cool location in the heart of Glendale, which was basically a horror-themed house. Lots of random things hanging on the walls and weird decorations that just don't make any sense, but hey, free set design. For the monster, we did our usual trick of combining a realistic-looking horror mask with touch-ups from our makeup artist Emily. In post, my brother Cody added some facial trickery to the mask to make it look more more realistic, but most of the performance is credited to the actor Kevin Michael Shiley. Our other actor, Drew Horton, brought the funny and did a good job selling the comedy. The computer graphics were added in post-production, and funny enough, one of the best gags in the commercial was added last minute during the edit. So after rushing through post-production and lots of long hours trying to finalize everything, we finished the horror commercial on time. Without further ado, here's how it turned out.
Help me. I need help with my SEO. My website's not ranking, it's really freaking me out.
Some things you just don't need to worry about. But not SEO. If you want to stop worrying about your site's performance, you need experts. At bruceclay.com, we provide you with smarter search marketing to give you the SEO results you need to feel more at ease.
Any suggestions?
So there you have it, an SEO horror commercial, folks, the first of its kind. Now with that over, all of the focus was now on what I thought would be the easier concept, the heist commercial, and boy was I wrong. The writing, the performances, the blocking, the location scouting, basically everything was so much more difficult to get right this time around. The biggest hurdle for me was that we had no time to location scout. We found a location online, but we just had no idea of how to shoot it because we were so focused on prioritizing the horror commercial. Remember, we shot these commercials back to back, so the day after we wrapped the horror ad, we just showed up to this set the next day and we're like, so how are we gonna do this?
I ain't got a clue.
Another inconvenient nuisance that we ran into was the heat. For context, we were in downtown LA during a heat wave while filming in a metal warehouse with no air conditioning.
It's so hot here!
Now, to be honest, it wasn't that bad, but we definitely felt it all day. Luckily, the group of actors we found for the roles came ready to play, and the crew worked so hard at getting what we needed. To be clear, it wasn't a bad shoot by any means, but we just didn't come in prepared as we should have been, and it certainly presented some challenges that required us to get creative at times. Something that stands out to me about this shoot in particular is how collaboration can make your project better rather than always sticking to your guns. I always hear people say that you constantly have to fight for your vision as a filmmaker, and while that's true, there are times where your vision is just simply wrong.
Wrong, sir. Wrong.
For instance, there were a handful of shots my DP suggested we add or change to the coverage we were already getting, and internally I would think, there's no way I'm going to use this take or not use what has already been covered, but I had them film it anyway because why not, right? Well, turns out I used a lot of those extra shots. This one, and this one were all shots we only did one take of because I honestly just didn't think we were going to use it. Whoops. Shows what I know. The point being that as the director, it's okay to not always stick to your guns on something. It's still your vision and you have final say, but a little humility in your creativity can actually make you a better filmmaker. The last struggle of this commercial was the editing. It took me a while and multiple edits to try and get this one right, but you know, I did my best. So here it is, folks. Enjoy.
We got the files!
Hurry! Quick! Take it!
And the files are uploaded to our site.
We did it!
Now the whole world will finally know the truth.
Uh-oh, we have a problem.
What is it? Did they track us?
I guess I forgot to do SEO, but SEO's easy. Yeah, I'll just buy some links.
Sometimes you can hire anybody to do a job.
Where'd you find this guy?
He's my cousin.
But not SEO. If you want to increase visibility to your site, you need experts. At bruceclay.com, we provide you with smarter search marketing by doing SEO the right way.
You're terrible at your job.
Well, that's not very nice.
And that was that, my first foray into the world of commercials and advertisements. I'm happy with how they turned out, and minus some of these obstacles we had to overcome, I really did enjoy working on these projects. It also sounds like we're going to be making more of these for the company soon, so I think that means they liked how they turned out as well. With that said, I want to thank Bruce for giving me the opportunity to try something different and to also expand on my filmmaking passions. And for the record, this video is not affiliated with Bruce Clay Incorporated in any way. I did get their permission to talk about my experience making these commercials, but my thoughts are my own and do not reflect the company's values or mission. That being said, buy some SEO services from us, guys, come on!
Just do it!
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you want to know more about all the film projects I'm working on, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Till next time, y'all.